Hello again, so we're back here at Bodmin in the Cessna 152 this time because the RV is having some work done. So off on a solo nav, there's absolutely no wind, it's about 25 degrees out. So lined up on runway 31 and throttle open and away we go. Eventually we're off the ground. Definitely felt slow and clumsy to lift off today given the lack of wind and the temperature. So heading up over the A30 and departing the circuit down towards Colliford Lake, which you can just see in the left hand side there, and starting the turn over Colliford Lake towards Okehampton. Nice clear conditions, a bit hazy, quite a few planes about I can hear on the radio speaking to Newquay, and it's sweltering in the cockpit, so I've got the air vents on full blast. Just clearing the wings, make sure there's no one hiding under there. I've heard quite a lot of chatter on the Newquay radar, various aircraft doing approaches and circuits, so I'm just making sure there's not some big military jet bearing down on me. A30 on the right hand side there, and that's Meldon Reservoir, and that's at the foot of Dartmoor, and we're just coming up towards Okehampton now. It's a danger area on the right there, so we're not allowed to fly over that. Not visible because the plane's in the way, but earlier it had a small aircraft about best part of 1,000 feet below me, just sneaking in between me and the A30, heading in the opposite direction. I'm at about 3,000 feet here. So again, A30 and Okehampton on the right there, and just about to make our turn over Okehampton towards Holsworthy. I do notice the reduced visibility in the high wing plane, especially when I'm turning. I do feel more vulnerable. Reset the clock and off towards Holsworthy. Promise you I'm not lost, just double checking, making sure I'm where I think I am. That's Rodford Lake, just in the left hand window there. So just over Holsworthy and making the turn down the coast now towards Rock and Padstow. North coast just on the right. It's still at 3,000 feet. Not really much around now. Quite a nondescript area here. There's only one real town visible, which was Holsworthy. The rest is mostly fields. So coming down the coast now. Just on the right there's where the mark in the window is, the scratch in the window, there's Tintagel Castle, and on the left you can see Davidstow Airfield just coming into view. Just having a look around because I've just heard some talk on the radio about some low flying down the coast. I'm at 3,000, so they'll be at less than 1,000 feet, but just always nice to try and see what's about. Port Isaac just about to go under the right wing strut now. Beautiful view down the coast. Still fiddling with the air vents, trying to cool myself down as much as possible. Poles F on the right hand side now. Golden Sands, Blue Sea, and Rock just under the nose, and shortly going to be making a left hand turn over Rock back towards Bodmin, just on the radio to Newquay, which is about 5 miles in the distance under the nose, just to let them know that I'm not going to wander into their airspace. Beaches look empty. So, nice tight turn over Rock, because we can. Camel Estuary, fill in the windscreen, and heading just south of east back towards Bodmin. Beautiful day for sightseeing. And North Coast appearing now in the left hand window again. Reset the clock, and it's about 6.5 minutes back to Bodmin. Talking to Newquay, saying goodbye, and switching over to Bodmin on the radio. Changing transponder code to VFR, and now chatting to Bodmin, asking for the airfield information. Bodmin town on the right there by the wing strut, and shortly we'll be going over the A30, and that's Colliford Lake in the windscreen on the left there, about 6-7 miles in the distance. A30 just under the nose now. Bodmin airfield just under the nose and to the left. It's going to be an overhead join from the west, and it's a left hand circuit onto runway 31, so we're going to be turning left over the A30, and then we'll be over the airfield directly, and this will be descending on the dead side of the airfield now. So we're overhead the airfield, and soon we'll be starting a left hand turn Colliford Lake up ahead there in the distance. A30 just coming to view there. So nice descending left hand turn. Airfield's about a quarter of a mile behind us. Coming down from 2,000 feet down to 800, which is the circuit height. Trying to look under the wing. Not used to the reduced visibility. There we go. Airfield just in the windscreen now. So we're going to be crossing the threshold of runway 13 and starting our crosswind leg. We're at about 800 feet now. On the downwind leg now. Forest ravine on the right, and shortly going to begin our turn onto base leg. Turn onto base leg. As part of the noise abatement procedures to keep the local populace content, this little town in the window, which is Cardinham, we try and give a bit of a berth to and not fly directly overhead. So on base leg now, about to turn final, just giving a bit of a wide berth to this collection of houses about to come into the window. There'll be a church visible as well, just so we don't roar overhead and annoy them on a beautiful summer's day. Bodmin Airfield, runway 31, just behind the frame of the windscreen on the right there. We'll straighten up once we're out of the overhead of Cardinham. 65 in the approach, we've got full flaps, we've called final, we're at a sensible height, sensible speed, it's all looking rather nice. There we go, lined up on runway 31. Get a little bit high here, but with full flap and power off, it's easy to lose the height and lose the speed. So not quite as clinical with our positioning of touchdown, but touchdown in one piece, and with just me on board it comes to an easy stop. So taxiing back towards the hangar. New hangar just in the windscreen there, being repaired after a fire within the last year, which thankfully didn't wreck any aircraft. Right. Shutdown procedures, making sure tower are happy with the position. Going through the checks. Mixtures off. Engine stopped. Switches, keys. Nothing else to do on the checklist. Time for tea.